everyone, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the books I have on my October TBR. It is already a good week into October and I am ambitious. I have already read 2 books this month, and those were The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, and I just finished Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts by Kate Reculia last night. Here's the picture, and I loved it. I'll be talking more about that in my wrap up. I need to film 2 wrap ups, so okay, so it is spooky month, and here's all these spooky books I want to read. It is a mix between horror, fantasy, and nonfiction. So I'm going to get into the books that I want to read, and I may show you in order, but the ones I want to get to first. And so yeah, let me put these down and get on to it. First book that I'm going to get to right after I finish filming is I Am Haunted by Zach Bagans. This is the nonfiction. And if you don't know who Zach Bagans is, he is the host and lead investigator of the show Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel. I have been a big fan of Ghost Adventures since 2011 when we were cleaning off our land to move our house onto this property. We live right next to my grandma and uncle, and my uncle got me into Ghost Adventures and I fell in love with it. And so this is his second book, and I think he goes more into detail about him becoming more serious about investigating and how his life has changed, and yeah, so I can't wait to read. And I may fly through this very quickly because his first book and then Nick's book, who's no longer part of Ghost Adventures, I flew through their books like crazy. Now I'm just waiting on Aaron to put a book out. The book that has been in the forefront of my mind since I bought it from the Dollar Tree has been this one. This is The Ship by Antonia Honeywell, and the cover is just spooky. It's a dark, gloomy, foggy day on the ocean. And it's about this girl named Lala. She grew up in isolation, shielded from the chaos of a collapsed civilization, and her dad built this boat, and I think it's kind of like a Noah's Ark for people, and it doesn't go the way it seems. It's not what it's expected. So yes, I can't wait to read this. I've been staying away from reviews because I read one review and it was a 2-star. And then I just kept looking at the stars and they were all bad, and I'm just like, ugh! And so hopefully this does not disappoint, because I've been thinking about this book day and night since I bought it. The next one is a classic, and it came in my Crate box last September, and that is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I've never read this book, and I really want to watch the Netflix show this month with my husband. There's a bunch of shows that I want to watch this month and that I need to get to. But yeah, I need a spooky classic to read in October. I always need one. Last year I read Dracula, didn't really like it, so I'm hoping that this is better and that it gives me this chills and scares me. Last year I had this book on my October TBR and I never got around to it, so I'm going to be making it a priority this month, and that is The Monogram Murders, Agatha Christie by Sophie Hannah. I think this is in her Hercule Poirot. I do not know how to say that. Hercule Poirot. Yeah, I won this in a Goodreads giveaway years ago, and I really want to read a murder mystery for Halloween as well. Along with The Haunting of Hill House, that was in my October 2019 Crate. The book that was also the main book in that box, The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I've been very interested since I got this book, and I was going to read it last year, but I had a full TBR, and this is about grave diggers who dig up bodies, and the bodies are called bone houses, which is eerie as hell. Another book that was on last year's TBR and that I'm making a priority because I want to read the rest of her books, is The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. It's about, I think this is about a woman who finds that she's, I don't really know what this one's about. Is it, she finds that she's a bunch of money? I don't know. I don't know what this one's about. And the last three are ones that I want to try to get to, but I'm not going to rush. And that is The Walking Dead Descent. I think this is book 5 in the novelizations by Robert Kirkman and J. Bone and Singa. I finished the comic series, the graphic novel series, and I was not a fan of the last one. I read that one in February before COVID hit. And this book series takes place in Woodbury, Georgia, which is the, if you watch the show, it's the third main, or the second main place after the farm. It's the main place after the farm where they go with the governor and stuff. And the governor is, out of the ashes of its dark past, Woodbury, Georgia becomes an oasis of safety amidst the plague of the Walking Dead, a town reborn in the wake of its former tyrannical leader, Philip Blake, aka the Governor. So, I'm wanting to read this. It's very short. The next one is another Goodreads giveaway win that I won, I think, before the Monogram Murders. And that is Blood Tainted Winter by T.L. Greylock. And this cover is just spooky. It's got an axe, it's got a crow or a raven. And yeah, I don't know much about this one. Rafe Scalligrim wants to take the sea road. His ship is fast and sleek, his crew is skilled and eager, and they will seek out new lands and win fame in the eyes of the gods. But Rafe's father refuses to allow the journey, and when a stranger brings word that the king is dead and the gathering has been called to choose a successor, Rafe must set aside his dream for his duty to his ancestral lands and his father. When factions split at the gathering to choose a successor, Rafe finds himself mired in bloodshed and treachery. So it's not really spooky, but it's blood, guts, gore, murder. Yeah. So, a bloody fantasy. The next one is a book I got in June. That is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I have not read any of his books, and this is going to be my first one. Love the color, love the chandelier, and it's about a spooky haunted house. The girl's dad writes a book about their haunted house, and it becomes famous, and tourists and all this, and the townspeople hate it. And so the girl, she gets left the house in her will, and she goes to fix it up, sell it, and then she finds out that things are real, and that her dad was not crazy. That's what I get from it. And so, yes, can't wait to read this. The last one is a YA, and I don't know if it's scary, but it's got a spooky word in it, and that is Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it's about this girl who lives in Nigeria, but she was born in New York, and her features are West African, but she's albino. She's an athlete who can't go out into the sun because she'll burn. She gets magical powers, and she goes to a magical school. So, that's what I got from it. And yeah, I got this for free from Kellogg's Family Rewards. I got this for my kids to read. And I also wanted to do a video where I recommend underrated magical school books, because I haven't seen that anywhere. And I got a bunch of books that I have read about magical school settings that I have not seen anywhere on YouTube or in blog posts anywhere. So I may still do that video. Comment down below if you want to see that. Here are the books I want to read for October. If you are reading any of these books or have some recommendations for me as a school setting or more spookier books than this, comment them down below and I will check them out. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.